Welcome, everyone. Welcome. You're listening to Lori Doby and Veronica Entwistle. Not only listening, but we're seeing each other at a time that is really pivotal in this country. I'm going to bring in Miracris and see how they handle the shifting frequencies and the shifting attitudes. So, welcome to the show, Lori, and I know you're over the moon excited.
Oh my God. It was a blue tidal wave last night. I couldn't sleep. I was up till 4 in the morning in France, glued to the MSNBC, of course, glued to the news, getting the updates. And it exceeded. I mean, I have now gone through all the polls for across the country, and the they took everything. Even JD Vance's brother lost in Kentucky.
Wow. Did JD Vance become a Dem?
Not yet, but Marjorie Taylor Greene might. If this keeps going, she
Hey, and
may
she
jump
did. She
ship.
made a huge difference in people's thinking,
She's
going
bringing
from
a
the women.
whole slew of very conservative MAGA people along with her now. Who
Yeah. Isn't that marvelous?
and she's questioning everything. And I saw her on The View with Whoopi Goldberg and Joyce, what's her name?
Yeah, I know who you're
Where
talking
they
about.
talk about politics, and they were interviewing her. And it wasn't contentious at all. And in fact, she said, I purposely came on the show not to be contentious with women. She said that. She said, women need to take roles in society, in politics, where we can work together. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh, I know when I first heard her turn around a couple of weeks ago or a month, whatever it was, I was amazed. She was like a whole different frequency to what she'd been. Her whole face, everything, the visage, everything was different. And I,
Everything.
I queried that. I went, wow, how much can we change whilst we're alive? And I think it's a lot. And I do think she had a huge change.
I do
Yeah.
too. Now, she really is critiquing the GOP, but she has made it clear that she's still in alliance with Trump, which is very strange to be playing both sides of that.
Yeah, I don't know what the hooks are, and I know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But she's got daughters. And that was
Yes.
real pivotal drive. And I took that as being life-changing.
Hmm.
That's how I've taken it so far. And I don't know everything. So there, we'll just see what
Right.
happens. We'll
But
see what Miracle has to say.
the Dems, man, we took attorney general seats, we took judges seats, or we reinstated those.
I'm
We
really
got,
glad the judges were good, right? There's a
well, it's
new
in
country.
Pennsylvania. You have to vote to reinstate them, but they were Democratic judges. And we got governors, we got mayors, we have a socialist, a socialist Democrat in New York City who's Muslim and who's
Woo!
34 years old. And he is powerful, man. That man is,
He's alive. When he talks, he's alive.
he's
And
so
that's a really big,
alive.
yeah. He's
And
not
it's
playing.
no, no, no. And it's funny because you'll see Cuomo with this very strange group of people who are who are campaigning for him in this very monotone way. And then you see Mondami with these DJ rappers, and he's like dancing in the background. I mean, he's very alive. And he's on par with like AOC and Jasmine, and it's the new it's the new slew.
New, the politics is about the people, and it's a
Yeah,
new level of the people.
yeah,
Yeah, I love that.
it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Have you seen any talks with her since it all happened?
With who?
AOC?
I saw a newsreel briefly because she represents the LaGuardia Airport area of New York. So
Mhm.
and AOC was very young when she came in, and she was just a waitress. In fact, like
But
Mondami,
was she talking about what happened with this
yeah, she was really
election?
excited, and it was a reel I saw today.
Okay,
Yeah,
great. How
but yeah,
exciting.
yeah. Ah, so much to talk about. Okay.
In the new world come day they call the promised
Oh,
land.
Two of Cups, Union.
Great.
I was, when I talked to the audience just for a minute before we launched into Miracles, before we started the show, I was telling Veronica, my telephone, my clock keeps showing uh, duplicate numbers. I don't know if anybody's having this, but this has been going on for weeks now, where it's 111, 222, 333, 444, 555. And I just pulled this card several times when I was talking to V before we started the show. Another duplicate kind of, and this is the Two of Cups. It's the card of union. And that's what we're talking about is the power of the people, the voices of the people coming together and doing what we did last night. So, oh, and Prop 50 in California passed. So we're going to redistrict and we're getting 5 new congressional seats.
Isn't this exciting? Yeah.
Yes.
But you know what I want to say, and I want to bring Miracris in for this, but this is a consciousness shift. You know, that's why you're getting so many of these amazing double number cards and so on, but also the whole the vibrational
Yeah.
intention, frequencies. You can feel it. It's like things are different. Things are different now.
Yeah.
So it's not just about this election. I'm glad we need the evolution as well, right?
Hmm.
So shall I bring in Mira, Chris? They
Mm.
want to talk anyway. They're laughing and going. Well, they love us when we're doing this, and they do like to join us. And they're smiling so much. I look like Bandami or whatever his name is. We are here and we are agreeing with you. We are so delighted that the joint, conjoint consciousness of Americans is pushing its way through some of the more hard rock, the older defensive attitudes. And it will be very, very, we're jumping right into politics because obviously that's what you'd really like to do. But we're feeling like this is the ending, and we've told this one a number of times, but this is the ending of Mr. Trump's what would you call it, dominance of America. But the interesting thing is, remind yourselves also, he's being tethered and tied by people from all over the world, what we call the autocratic, we call it the tourniquet, the autocratic round the world. There's a lot of tethers on that are trying to build a flow and build a connection for the sake of their own money and their own dominance. But watch, and we smile for this because it's as if the detethering is going to be very tattered. You understand? There's going to be a disconnection of certain leaders. For example, in China, China is finding its own independence, and you know this, and it's going to step forward in a very strong way and want to dance or be freed to dance with America as it changes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to pull away from the Trump dynasty. Well, the Trump dynasty is collapsing anyway. You understand that. And if you pick on several countries that are very, we'll say right wing, but it's really dictatorial,
Yeah.
you'll see that Orban,
Yeah.
Hungary,
Hungry. Hmm.
yeah, there's a coming apart there, and what you can watch for is that there's a kind of a consciousness moving up, and it will surprise many people. And so we're saying to you that this is the kind of motion that's going throughout humanity all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And we have prayed for, and for example, from our perspective, we cannot be sure when we see, oh, it's going to go really well. We see that the trials of creating the really well are still tenuous, and they have to be because that's the way human beings take charge of their culture, isn't it?
Hmm.
And but we're seeing that it's moved very, very strongly. There's a strength in the stepping forward that is going on, and we are, what would you say? It's not just applauding, but we are cheering for the evolution of a great number of human beings. You
Hmm.
understand, we've spoken of evolution quite a while, and the resistance against it is, what would you call it? Survival. And it should be survival because evolution won't allow people to be the same as they were. Do you understand? And that is a death survival situation, is it not?
Mm.
And
I,
we're smiling over this because people are choosing to move through some very tight, tethered situations that are financially supported and dictatorially supported.
yeah. Well, the SNAP program, Mary Chris, was 43 million, which is astronomical. If you think about a country and 350 million people, 43 million of those 353 are on food subsidies in one of the richest
And there
countries
is
in the
no excuse
world.
for that, Lori.
In one of the richest countries in the world, they are on food subsidies, which are now cut in half. And I was listening to an elderly woman. She said, well, I don't know how I'm going to manage without my $25 a month and
Isn't
SNAP
that?
benefits. I had to go back, rewind, and listen to that again to make sure she really said $25.
Mhm.
And she's getting half, $12.50, whenever they can get the computers up and running to
And
distribute.
you're right to be heartbroken because the man that's making those decisions, he's not only one man, but he is the dominant one here, is somebody who has more money than he would ever need.
Yeah,
And he doesn't want the children to be fed or to have a SNAP. He doesn't want to help people.
no,
And you know what the old story is: you keep them hungry and keep them weak. You
right,
understand?
right.
And this is the end of that time, Lori.
King
You watch.
Charles the First, I think we identified one of his past lives.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And King George, had a lot to do with the Revolution time, and
Hmm.
he very aligned with Mr. Trump's soul journey as well.
Yeah. It's
There we
just
go.
awful.
Well,
So,
maybe it's awful. This is a turning point time, and also what we have a great deal of faith in humanity, and you could wonder why. But humanity is a developing species. You know this. It is developing and developing. And right now, you're seeing it go right through a very interesting tethered vibrational gateway, which is
right.
going to release enough of the people on the planet to push the evolution of humanity more quickly.
Hmm.
Consciousness is an interesting thing. What it takes is people's inner consciousness to rise and move simultaneously. You understand that?
Mm. So,
Difficult to describe, except that that's what's happening. And you'll see some tremendous, courageous steps coming forward in the next while. And that's not everyone, you understand that? But
yeah.
everyone will be touched by the changes coming up over the next, we would say, 2 to 3 years. It
Hmm.
doesn't start in 2 to 3 years, it's already started. This has been
Hmm.
a herald.
Hmm.
But it is going to take 2 or 3 years and you will find your world very different. And in
Right.
our perspective was a question: will this actually be able to go through the portals? Will it be able to, or will it get stopped? And there are those who would like to stop it. And
Hmm.
fortunately, Mr. Trump is a little out or disengaged in his mental capacity and his stubbornness. You understand that?
Right. So what's the new, so Mary Chris, I want to ask a few questions. So what's the new trajectory of Trump? We see, you said this was a turning point,
Yes, very much.
and he has his escape route, right?
Mhm.
He has his way out
Yeah,
of
we're
the.
seeing two things there.
Hmm.
Um, his escape route is not going to work very easily for him. He has a problem coming in his lower back, and most of what he has is physical problems, and he has a lot of physiological difficulties, can be fixed, assessed, and fixed by the cutting edge of medicine these days. You know that.
Hmm.
But he's got something that's going to pull him down and make it harder for him to even fly in a plane. Understand that?
Mm,
because his plan is to go over to, I guess it's Saudi Arabia, but we see it isn't exactly that. It's like on the edge.
mhm.
Um,
Was it
and
Cutter?
yes, and he's planning to resume his empowerment over people attitudes there, but it's not going to work. But also, he's going to face three major restrictions as he plans his trip, you see, so that he's being afflicted. And we would put it in the ball, we would put the ball in his court. He's afflicted by a lack of consciousness.
Mhm.
And it's that lack of consciousness that prevents his own personal evolution from allowing him the clarity and freedom to be free enough to go somewhere else. It's very dangerous for the other country he wanted to go to as well. You know that.
Mhm. Absolutely. Okay.
And he's actually pretty angry with America right now.
Oh, yeah. He's a spoiled child, bully playing in the schoolyard kind of thing. His attitude is just awful, especially around this election. Every single candidate he endorsed lost.
Good.
Yeah.
But he's surrounded by people no, two kinds of people. One kind is, oh, Mr. Trump, we're so sorry. The other kind is so relieved and these are people in his own camp, are saying, thank heaven, we wanted you to fail.
Mm.
Yeah, so he's been undercut even in his own people.
Oh, I'm sure. Hmm.
Mhm. Perhaps leadership is always that way, Lori.
Yes, yes, yes. And I think Kamala Harris, I just saw a brilliant interview with her on this podcast. And it was based on the book that she wrote, 107 Days. One thing she said that happens inside politics and
Mhm.
happened with Biden was she said the staff was undermining her, undercutting her,
Putting her or Biden or both.
his staff, his staff. And there's the game of politics, you know? It's we have that in life. We have it in relationships, that kind of undercutting, that competitive edge.
Isn't it interesting that if people aren't in touch with their own fears and their own competitions, that will have to
Hmm.
happen.
Hmm.
And if everyone's got that, it doesn't matter what the pool of people is, it'll always have some of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But to train to have people become conscious, have them
Mhm.
to work their way through those oppositional forces.
Yeah.
And
When
oh, we would like to say this, that the world is going to be operating with more consciousness on that very soon. And you'll see a new level of soaring ahead on the planet.
okay. One thing I wanted to bring up to Miracris was what's happened with Prince Andrew. It's now official. You know, he wasn't stripped of the title 2 months ago. He's now been stripped of the title as of last week. And this coincided with Virginia's book, Geoffrey's
Mhm.
book. It also coincided with so much media and publicity. I mean, when people started talking about who he is, he's an awful man. Prince Andrew, he's angry. He yells
Mhm.
at everybody at the palace. He's bitter. This is beyond this. This has been in the making for some time. So he's now been stripped. He's thrown up to the northwest corner of friggin'
Scotland?
England, where it's horribly rainy all the time. And Fergie has Sarah Ferguson, his wife, ex-wife. She's been pretty much stripped of her titles as well. So,
And the actual awakening to the population of who the abusers are and what is the arrangement in that whole network. That's just beginning to emerge. And
mm-hmm,
she's part of it. He was part of it.
mm-hmm.
He's a destroyed man, you know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he should be. I mean, he is a miserable human being. from all the
Sarah Ferguson is not okay as well. She's
no,
emotionally distressed and she
broke, I
also was
think.
pretty abusive. Did you know that?
I don't know about that, but I know she must be broke by now because she got involved with borrowing money from Epstein. She was one of his clients. I don't know if she was involved in the sexual abuse, but she's
She
certain.
was somehow, or maybe it was just through references. We're not saying she was completely involved, except that she was in the intricacies of that web.
Right.
And more of that is going to be shown, not just with Ferguson, but many people that you would least expect. And so you asked about Prince Andrew. We don't see him living very long.
No.
We see him being destroyed inside, if you understand what that means.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. It's punishment, you
Who was
know?
the great destroyer? He was by playing that game.
Yes, absolutely. And what, it's his brother who had to do this, King Charles.
Hmm. Hmm.
And William won't put up with it. So it had to be done now. And I'm sure because King Charles, has very advanced cancer, he didn't want to die with this on his head.
But Lori, that isn't the only reason it had to be done now. Waiting, so much of the insidious activity goes undercurrent and it's harder to track it down. It
Right.
has to be brought up now. More and
Yeah.
more of this has to be emerging now. Do you understand that?
Yeah. And the files need to be released. And we are waiting for Mike Johnson to swear in the congressperson from Arizona who will be the deciding vote in releasing the
Well,
Epstein files.
Mr. Johnson is going to be pulled out of position,
Excellent.
and so is Trump. And then you're going to see some of the card houses fall flat. You understand?
Oh.
Because there's much of the for example, the young woman who is legitimately hired or voted for, she is sitting outside of some card houses, and until they pull apart some
Hmm.
of the leadership around her, it won't change. But we see that Johnson's going to have to be pulled down
Hmm.
because he's being a milquetoast, he's
Yeah,
being a patsy, and he's being used by
completely.
Trump in a way that is not only obvious, but
Yeah,
it's kind of disgusting. It's
it's
almost like
really
he's being
disgusting.
raped by,
Yeah,
do you, yes.
yeah, yeah. And Mike Johnson, I don't know if you heard, but his religious faith, he's very evangelical, but it's kind of extreme. And he
Hmm.
belongs to a religious sect, we'll call it, who requires the fathers to marry their daughters to protect
Isn't
them
it
before.
interesting that
I
sect
heard
and
about
state
this. I
are so
couldn't believe
close?
it. I was like, this is so disgusting. Yeah, to protect the daughters
Hmm.
before wedlock.
Hmm.
It's really so these people just live in a completely different worlds, Mary Chris. They really do.
Well, they don't feel like any of the normal rules are their rules.
Mm-mm, no.
Hmm.
So, anything you want to say before we close?
Yes, we'd like to say this, which is that the Epstein, we call it the files, but the actual experience and the network of it all is going to pull so many people's lives apart as it comes up. And the point of that is it follows that drive to becoming conscious as a species.
Hmm.
It unsettles. Talk about Prince Andrew, not just him, but Mr. Clinton, people that are famous in various walks of life, and how that ownership and the abuse
Hmm.
is being not cleansed yet, because that's a pretty optimistic word, but is being brought up in such a way that you'll notice that humanity changes. The
Hmm.
brutality of being a human being is emerging.
Hmm.
You could say, but what about the Eastern Europeans who don't care about this or that? We're saying it's very different because the flow, the vibrational flow, is under the obvious condition of a human being. It's something that's in the species, and it's a part of you growing out of this level of consciousness. We say you because it affects everybody in the world, even brand new babies in places like India, you see.
Mm,
They are going to be changed by the emergence of the truth around the Epstein
wow.
situation. Yes. So he's the leader in an interesting way.
Wow.
And
Hmm.
we say to you that, Lori, you're facing something that you both have talked about before. This is a huge transformation of life on the earth. Huge. And it's not war and destruction, it's an emerging consciousness. We spoke of the tourniquets. We said it's going to emerge into a new tourniquet, which is people being hooked up around the world for the sake of evolution, growth, loving, having fun, intensely creative, and helping the planet. You're going to see this emergence in a worldwide presentation that isn't one foot in front of the other, but it is one cell in front of the other and one
Hmm.
awareness in front of the other. See?
Wow.
And it's just coming.
Beautiful.
And we've really loved the opportunity to speak with you, Lori and Veronica.
Hmm.
And let's talk again
Okay. We'll see you again next week.
next week.